Hello, and welcome back to another reading of the White Album 2 light novel series. We are currently reading through Volume 1. So, basically last episode we were still working on recruiting Kazusa Touma. Haruki did, to his credit, come out with his lie and say, "Hey, Ogiso, I lied to you. She's not actually in the light music club, but I'm going to try to get her into it." So that was a positive. But he talked about Touma so much, it was clear that Ogiso got pretty jealous and sad about it. Then when he went to talk to Touma, he talked about Ogiso so much. It was a little bit less clear, but it's still a little bit clear that she was getting annoyed with it. So Haruki never learns his lesson. We're going to continue on from there. 30 minutes later. Then it looked like she was about to kick every desk over, so I ran away. I see. That's too bad. I lay in my own bed, the afternoon sun flowing in through my window, while Ogiso's clear voice rode the electrical waves through my phone receiver. Here I was, talking to Miss Hojo High on the phone, and yet the matter of our conversation was so pathetic that I could cry. Why does Touma still have to rage around like that? I'm really sorry. I made you let me tell her your secret. Tell your secret, and I still... No, it's not your fault. Don't worry about it. Ogiso's tone was devoid of blame for me. Yes, she was clearly a good person, though something in her voice sounded oddly happy? Maybe I was imagining that. Yeah, happy that Touma's not in the light music club. And it's interesting because in these little quips that they're talking about Ogiso, it's not expressed in the game. It's not expressed clearly at all, but because the novels are a little bit shorter, they throw in these little tidbits so the reader's like, even now she's jealous, kind of thing. I'm going to try to convince her another time. I don't think I'm going to have any more luck today. So maybe on Monday. Hey, do you think Touma-san went home after she got angry? I don't know. Although, after I ran off, I heard some absolutely furious piano playing. So she might still be at it right now. At that pace, she would probably skip lunch altogether. At any rate, if I could hear her rage through a musical instrument, then it must be something pretty monstrous in a number of ways. Anyway, I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep at it. I mean, that's the one thing I will say about Haruki is that he doesn't give up easily. I don't agree with all of his decisions, but he is tenacious, and that's good. But what was I going to talk about, now that the topic of Ogiso, in which I had placed so much confidence, had proved insufficient? You really can't give up on Touma-san? Oof, famous last words again. What? No, don't put it that way. That would invite misunderstandings. I'm doing this for the Light Music Club. That means it's for your sake, too. Yes. Now that Ogiso had decided to participate, I wanted to make it work, some way or another. Right. Okay. I get it. I didn't quite follow, but Ogiso seemed to have convinced herself. After she gave me a word of thanks and told me not to push myself too hard, I hung up and sighed slowly. I'm hungry. In spite of the bread I had just eaten, my stomach felt empty. Maybe from exhaustion. I mean, Haruki does talk a lot. I guess he exhausted himself from that. Going out somewhere was too much of a bother, so I stood up to go look for some cup noodles or something in the pantry, thinking vaguely about my next move in my bid to win Touma over. We needed to get into a shape that would allow us to start rehearsing, and quick. Rehearsing. I had to go to Ogiso's place and explain about the band. When should I? For that matter, how should I? Setsuna's piece. Setsuna had returned home, but after her phone call with him, she changed back into her uniform and returned to school. Her target was music room number 2. She's such a good person. She doesn't have to do this. She didn't have to go back to the school. She doesn't have to solve Haruki's problems, and yet she does. And this is so early on when she really owes him nothing, when they're not even that close. When she arrived, the door was, surprisingly, opened from the inside. She appeared, with a dejected look on her face, but gave a start when she noticed someone there. "Hello, Touma-san." As Setsuna greeted her with a smile, a wary look came into her eyes. I would be very wary, too. "Sorry to show up so suddenly. I think we saw each other briefly yesterday morning. I'm Setsuna Ogiso." "Oh, you remembered my name. That's nice of you." "Were you just about to leave?" "Oh, perfect. My timing couldn't be better." "What do you want?" "Right. Well, I'm here because I wanted to talk to you about something, Touma-san." I wonder what she could want to talk about. As Setsuna spoke, wearing a friendly smile, she began to show clear signs of distress. Even so, Setsuna continued, "You haven't eaten lunch yet, right? Why don't we go somewhere to eat together?" No, Do you have something else to do? I can come back later if you do." You would come back again?" Her eyes darted around in bewilderment. Setsuna must be the only one who had ever been able to see her looking like this. It's interesting, too, because out of the guys, I feel like that had approached Touma, it's very easy for her to just be like, go away, and be really cold and cruel to them. And the girls from the music department were probably even more jealous than the guys, and probably pretty rude to her. So she just doesn't know how to react when a girl is being nice to her, even though clearly she's just doing it because she wants something. "I don't know all that many restaurants, but let me think. There's a nice pasta place, a Chinese place, a set meals place. I don't know if ramen would be right for a proper conversation. Oh, yeah, there's a curry place too. It's super spicy, but it tastes amazing. What do you want to eat, Touma-san?" "Is this a bad time? Then some other time. Oh, maybe I should check back or come back with Kitahara-kun?" She remained silent for a moment before finally speaking. Yeah, at the sound of Kitahara-kun's name, obviously she doesn't want him to come back and talk to her. I don't like spicy stuff." At her awkwardly muttered response, Setsuna broke into a grin. "Understood. Why don't we start walking? I'm starving, actually." Setsuna set off, and she followed silently. When Setsuna changed her pace so they could walk side by side, she started walking faster, evidently not thrilled with this development. Watching her with a strained smile, Setsuna looked anew at the person in front of her, pondering how beautiful she really was. Long black hair, pale, slender fingers, a finely featured face, tight, narrow lips, and her eyes, cold enough to keep others at a distance, yet lovely enough that one could not help but be drawn in. Her name was Kazusa Touma, a special entity with whom Setsuna must meet at any cost. Touma-san, are you sure that's all you want?" They had finally settled on a diner, but while a full sandwich plate sat before Setsuna, all that sat before Kazusa was a single serving of pudding. "Yes." "Really? That'll be enough?" "If it's not enough, I'll eat another one." "Well, if you say so." She apparently had quite the sweet tooth. "Well, let's eat then." That's so cute. Kazusa and her pudding has always been a thing. There's so many products that feature her with her pudding, and the pudding theme just continues on throughout the whole series. That being said, I do wish she had eaten a proper meal as well as had some pudding. She certainly needs it. After they had both eaten in silence for a short while, Setsuna decided to broach the subject at hand. "So, I've actually joined the Light Music Club." "Huh." "The club wants to play a show at the school festival. That means we have less than a month left to work together. Of course, even though it's such a short time, we're going to practice very hard." "Oh, yeah, knock yourself out." Yes, very hard. I'm on vocals, so I have to do my best not to drag everyone else down. I think there's another loser who's more likely to drag you down. He's the one who's putting the most effort into making the show succeed, though. With that effort, I'm sure it'll work out. I wouldn't know. No? I thought you would know best since you sit next to him. I don't know, Kazusa spat. He's working hard at it, but it's not easy. We don't have enough members to start with, and I haven't even rehearsed with them yet. It's not looking too good. If you're short on members at this point, you're probably screwed. Why not drop it? Because there's a way to get through this without giving up. We have an immediate member prospect ready, someone who's fantastic at playing the piano. To Setsuna's affected wording, Kazusa gave an equally affected answer. If it were me, I would never join such a rickety band. Such an awkwardly casual conversation. I don't think either of them would get into a shouting match, but clearly they do not connect on a level that they need to be connecting on. Oh, don't say that. Maybe it's rickety, but don't you think you could set it straight? No one would be weird enough to do that for you. They'd have to be a complete idiot. I don't think you're an idiot. I believe you'll join. No, I won't. There's no reason. Really? Kitahara-kun has his heart set on getting you to join. Like I care. I've never cared about what he had to say. He says he can vouch for your piano skill since you've played so many sessions together. I didn't ask him to do that. He says no one else will do. Setsuna looked up from beneath her eyelashes. It sounds like you're the only option, Touma-san. Still not interested? At Setsuna's question, Kazusa broke eye contact. Oh, deep down, I'm sure she really likes hearing that Haruki is insisting on her, that she's the only one, that it has to be her. Those are all really big compliments. So deep down, yeah, I'm sure she likes it. You came to me because Kitahara asked you? He's really taking this far. No, I decided to come. I don't even think it occurred to Kitahara-kun to ask something like this of me. Maybe he wants to figure something out with you on his own. I said I don't care. He's not luring me or anyone else in. Pain in the ass. Well, he lured me in. My condolences. My condolences. This is so funny. You must be easy to scam. There's got to be something wrong with you if you're going along with anything he does. I was surprised when he first invited me. I didn't think I could ever sing for a band, but my desire to try it out was stronger. When I thought over it honestly with myself, I came to my conclusion almost immediately. And when I saw how hard Kitahara-kun was working, it made me feel like I wanted to work with him. I want to build a really great memory for the end of my time in high school. Oh, I see. Your taste in men is terrible. Well, in that case, Setsuna said with a small smile, yours is terrible too, Touma-san. What? Got him. No, for real. Setsuna knows what's going on. It's so funny. More than any other character at this point, even though Setsuna has just been introduced to both of these people who've known each other for a long time, she's the only one who can see what's going on. Aside from maybe Takeya. Takeya kind of has an idea of it as well, but not so much as Setsuna. You've been playing along with Kitahara-kun's guitar this whole time. The whole time, even though he was bad at it. Even though you knew it was him playing, right? If you really hated him that much, you wouldn't play sessions with him. Why did that idiot have to open his mouth? I don't think it occurred to Kitahara-kun himself. He readily admitted that he's kind of slow. In fact, he said you hate him, of all things. So, Touma-san, will you be in a band with someone who shares your terrible taste? Kazusa started to respond, got as far as opening her mouth, then stood up without saying anything. If you want seconds of the pudding, there's a call button here. I'm leaving. Oh? Aww. The funny thing is she reacted the strongest when Setsuna said, Haruki thinks you hate him. You know, like that's tough because her natural reaction to things after being bullied so much is to just put up that barrier, put up that wall, to kind of be sarcastic. So of course he kind of thinks she hates him, and yet he thinks she's a good person. So I could see the want to clarify things there. After paying the check, she stepped outside where a cold, dry wind beat her cheeks. Wow, it's cold today. Well, I guess it is November. Which means there's barely any time until the festival. What are you doing dawdling around here? Are you worried about us? No one cares about you. Shut up. You're so stubborn. Oh, is my singing the part you're worried about? We could go do some karaoke right now if you want to test. No thanks. Not interested in getting stuck listening to you sing for hours. So you already know. Kitahara told me all of this junk without me even asking. Yep, I know. I told Kitahara-kun that he could talk about it. What? Kitahara-kun told you everything about Setsuna Ogiso, right? That was partly my fault. Sorry for irritating you. You know, Kitahara-kun talks to me about you all the time. You're such a great person. He really wants to get you to join, etc. I guess I got a tiny bit annoyed after listening to so much of that, which made me want to hassle you a little. Sorry about that. It was just a small trick played on her and him both. I mean, I really don't think she hassled her that much. She got hassled, but I don't think it was Setsuna that actually did it. This is the perfect Little Miss Hojo high. You've got the whole school fooled. The perfect image is really just an image. You and Kitahara-kun are the only ones in the whole school who know the real me. Oh, really? So, now that you know my secret, you'll join the light music club, right? You chose to tell me yourself. Honestly, what do I have to do to get you to join? What do I have to do to get you to back off? Kazusa looked fed up, but Setsuna made her declaration. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to work just as hard as Kitahara-kun. I don't get it. What are you actually trying to do? That's obvious. I'm trying to be in a band, Setsuna replied, smiling. Also, I want to be your friend, Touma-san. Yeah, your taste is terrible, Ogiso, Kazusa muttered, then took off walking, her black hair fluttering behind her. See you later then, Touma-san. I'd rather you didn't. She's so brutal. She's so funny. So many banger one-liners. As she left without so much as a backward turn, Setsuna watched her, smiling, then gave a small sigh. She refused to be honest. That was Setsuna's initial impression of her. Setsuna imagined, admittedly somewhat self-indulgently, that Kazusa didn't actually bear her any hatred. Since she spent so much time with her, she must have some sort of interest in her, in one sense or another. But she refused to be honest. Because of that, any attempts to convince her through words alone were likely to be difficult. Now what? After walking for a while, mulling everything over, Setsuna pulled out her phone. With her heart fluttering slightly, she scrolled through her address book and pressed the button. Hello? Ogiso? Yes? Hello? Wait, is something wrong? Your voice sounds a little shaky. Sorry. I don't get very many calls from girls other than Io. Why? Why can't Haruki go one sentence without talking about another girl? Why? Even if it's just Io, come on. Huh? I was surprised when you called me on Wednesday too. I guess I'm still not used to it yet. So, getting a call from Setsuna made him nervous? Please don't laugh. Sorry, I wasn't laughing. She wasn't laughing at him. It was just a smile that spilled over a bit. Oh, that's a really beautiful line. Just a smile that spilled over a bit. Oh, that's really nice. Anyway, Kitahara-kun, I've actually just been with Touma-san. Huh? What do you mean? We were just having a conversation. Touma-san is so funny. Funny? Yep, it was a lot of fun. Seriously? Okay, so you enjoyed being with her? No way. That's not very nice to me or Touma-san. Oh, no, I mean that no one has exactly had that particular impression of Touma. Well, you told me so much about what a good person Touma-san is, Kitahara-kun. That doesn't... Hang on, I didn't tell you that much. Hang on, Ogiso? I didn't ramble on that much, did I? Leaving that aside... Wait! Leaving that aside. Okay. This is so funny. This book is really, really, really pressing this point. Like nailing this point in. In the game, it was left a lot more vague and you could pick up hints. The novel is like smushing it in your face how jealous Setsuna is at this point. That's a very interesting difference. The thing is, she actually turned down my invitation to join the light music club too. But you're not ready to give up yet, right, Kitahara-kun? Well, so it's time for a strategy meeting. Let's meet up at the karaoke place from before in, let's see, half an hour? That's punctuated, so difficult. Okay. Ogie, so I don't know about karaoke. Wouldn't a diner or something be better for talking? No, I was just at a diner. I'll be waiting. This is actually happening? Yep, actually happening. What, are you not coming? Oh, no, all right, I'll be there. Perfect. See you then. Right. Oh, hey, Ogiso? Yes? I just want to thank you first for going to Touma. The whole thing about inviting her was my idea, so the fact that you helped really means a lot. Thanks. Kitahara-kun. That's all. See you later. After ending the call, Setsuna played his final words over and over again in her head. Words which, to him, were just a simple way of expressing thanks. Over and over. She had been thanked. What a simple thing to be happy about. Setsuna is such a simple girl at this point. Gets jealous over talking about other girls, gets happy when a guy thanks him, gets sly when he gets embarrassed when she calls him. Like, she's really simple. She was working together with someone toward a shared goal. The reality of this hit her, and she smiled unconsciously. All right, let's do this. As Setsuna set off, there was a lightness in her step that had never been there before. Haruki's piece. Hey, are you listening? Yes. At the same karaoke spot as before. You gotta do it right, Kitahara-kun. I was being set upon by a drunk named Setsuna Ogiso. Why had things taken this turn? I mean, listen, you were the one who decided to get Touma-san in on this. Well, yeah. Then you gotta be more forceful about it, right? Her cheeks were red, her eyes fixed on me, her head lolling. The ice in the glass Setsuna held clinked together. The glass was supposed to contain oolong. Oolong was what she ordered, at least. Oh my god. I mean, oolong is a type of tea, but they also do have oolong mixed with alcohol in Japan. It's one of the more popular drinks, especially for karaokes. But this is interesting because this scene did not occur in the game. Setsuna didn't just get drunk in the karaoke and talk to Haruki. So it's really cute that they put this in, again, in order to really drill in the fact that she likes Haruki at this point, clearly, and that she's very jealous of Touma at this point. I really like the way they've done this. I think they did it very well. But as she drank, Setsuna's tone had gradually changed, and now, here we were. It must have been an oolong highball instead. But how had she not noticed that while she was drinking exactly? Listen, I've done plenty of thinking about this band myself. You know, it's because you're like this, that Touma-san is like that. And for some reason, she kept blaming me for God knows what. What about Touma? Anyway. Setting her glass on the table with a clunk, Ogiso stared into my eyes. She was very close. You gotta really commit to it. Gotta do everything to convince Touma-san. You gotta. I know. Ogiso was right. She might be drunk, but no. The fact that she was drunk might have been what made Ogiso speak so forthrightly. I don't know how to get her to listen to me, though. I wasn't completely sure, but it seemed like Touma was furious with me. Also, feel like I should point out, the drinking age in Japan is 20, and Setsuna is definitely not 20, so everything about this is not legal. No, you can't wimp out like that. That doesn't really help. Hey, even if she won't listen to you talk, there's something else she can listen to, right? Huh? So funny. A small smile came to Ogiso's reddened face. Well, I've got a great idea. An idea? I told you, this is a strategy meeting. And so, after the drunken Ogiso had gone on at length about her strategy, without letting me get a word in, she suddenly flopped down onto the sofa. Yeah, karaoke rooms in Japan are mostly sofas. Whoa, Ogiso? She was asleep. This could turn into a problem, actually. Get up. Hey. Here, right in front of me, was Setsuna Ogiso herself, sleeping defenselessly. Whoa, what was with that thought? I shook my head and moved to sit as far away from her as I could, and sighed. Well, she did do a lot of thinking about this, though. She had allowed me to tell Touma her secret, gone to see Touma herself, even come up with a strategy for us. I couldn't help wondering why she had gone this far. Geez, maybe that's just what friends do for each other, and she's committed to being your friend. Ogiso must want to make the show a reality just as much as I did. She truly wanted to sing, and I had to do everything I could to fulfill that. For the next 2 hours or so until Ogiso woke up, I just sat, unable to leave the room or sing any songs, feeling something that I couldn't really define. It was far from my best 2 hours my mental health had ever seen. When Ogiso finally came to, the drunkenness had completely worn off. But once she realized her own slip, she grew scarlet in the face for a different reason, frantically flapping her hands. Of course, I did my utmost to clarify that absolutely nothing had happened between us. How embarrassing. How adorable. I love that. I love that they put that in there. I love that the novels truly are building on Setsuna and Haruki's relationship pre-Touma. You know? Because in the game, it really rushes into Touma being a part of the trio. But here we're getting to see them getting to know each other and really justifying Setsuna's crush on Haruki. I'm actually really in awe of what a good job the novel is doing with that so far. So, we are going to stop there for today's episode. Thank you so much for being here with me, reading the White Album 2 light novel series. We are still on Volume 1, and we will pick up with Session 6 in the next episode. So, I hope you have a great one, and until then, take care. See you.